Wow. Good afternoon, everybody. 13:06 Central Time, Birmingham, Alabama. Keith Andrews coming to you live with about, what we got, we got about 10, 11 others of us coming to you live. I love it. Today is November 4th. It is the day before our country's elections at all levels, including the national levels. We're prepared. I mean, our commercial profession is ready for whatever happens, right? Everybody say yes, we're ready, whatever that could be. Listen, I gotta play catch up. I'm playing catch up. I'm sure I'll be playing catch up all this week, but last week was a tremendous week. Okay. Not everybody here went to EXPCon. EXPCon is our global conference of all of our EXP companies. We now have EXP Realty, we have EXP Commercial. The new name now is EXP International. We also have Verbella. We have Success Magazine, Success Lending, Success Spaces. It's a very fascinating time. My biggest takeaways were it reinforces what I say to everybody all the time: relationships is all that matters in our industry. You got to have those relationships. You got to have your clients. We got to have each other. And it was so evident there, the collaboration and stuff. But I know there's a couple people here. Maybe not. Yeah, there are. Heath is here too. Before we get into anything, I want to take advantage. We got two people here, first time on our meetings. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. We'll start with Tim Bell. Tell us where you are. Hi, Tim. Let the world know how we can help you down there, where you are.
Hey everybody, thanks for letting me in. My name is Tim Bell. I'm from Pensacola, Florida. I'm also licensed in Alabama, so kind of work both sides of it. I migrated over from the realty side in 1st of September, so it's commercial, something I've always had my eye on, and I'm excited to be here. So looking forward to all this.
Well, welcome, Tim.
Thanks.
Anybody got any questions of Tim? Pensacola, Florida? No? All right. Heath. Who are you, Heath?
Hey everyone, Heath Curl is here. I'm in Missouri. I just retired from the Air Force, 21 years, and I'm starting my new career in commercial real estate. So I just passed my test. I'm working on getting my license and onboarding with EXP. So I went to EXPCon over this last week, and I got to meet a lot of good people, including Keith. And I got to sit there and listen to his panel and talk about the importance of relationships. So I'm really looking forward to what the future holds, and I can only see this company growing a lot. So I'm
Where'd
excited.
You say you were, Heath?
I'm in Missouri right now, but I am in the process of getting up to Kansas City. So yeah, so I should be up in Kansas City within the next couple of months. So if anybody's interested in that market, let me know, and I'll put my number in the chat.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Heath. And listen, so I got to meet Heath during the week last week, and let me tell you what my takeaway is with Heath. I now have the opportunity to be a mentor to somebody who's hungry and has a head on his shoulders, and is going to be in Kansas City, Missouri. He wants me to be his mentor, and that's going to be a beautiful thing. So as soon as they give you your license number, then we're done, right? I mean, I don't understand what the delay is in there getting license numbers in Missouri, but that's what's happening. So that'll be great. All right. Any questions for Heath right now? Well, let me just say, all those watching this recording later, if you need a connection in Kansas City, know that he's not by himself. Yes, he's got me with him, but he's got all of us as well. So we got a lot of, that's what I love about EXP Commercial is we all help each other. So let's take advantage of the fact that Mr. Paul Zorich is here today. He wanted to speak real quick because he's got a 13:40 hours appointment in about 30 minutes. So go ahead, Paul. What's on your mind today, guy?
Well, I'm in my car and I'm on my way to the appointment, so forgive me on the view here. But I know, Keith, you wanted to chat quickly about, the advantages of going to EXPCon. I was one of those who was not going. It came down to the last minute, found a ticket online for cheap compared to what they're going for the day of or the week of. And, things are a little tight. The economy is not the best. We're like everybody else trying to get our deals done. And maybe it would have been better to go to Italy with the money I spent in Miami. But I just wanted to point out a couple things to our group because a lot of these guys we see every week. Most of these people on this Zoom are much more advanced than I am when it comes to commercial real estate and commercial brokerage. But there's some things here to go over. Three things I want to bring to your attention that were talked about that hit me really hard. I'm going to give you a couple quotes. The problem is not that you are not great. The problem is that you are invisible. Somebody said that in our opening talk on Monday morning. And I thought about a friend of mine who's in EXP Realty, who is really great, probably one of the best negotiators I know, but nobody knows who he is because he doesn't participate. He's not on these calls. He's not on the Zooms. He doesn't like to go to the conventions. And that doesn't mean it doesn't work. Everybody's got their way of doing something, but I think it's a little better when you're out there. Here's another one. The best known beats the best. So again, I am not as qualified as Blair or Rich or some of these guys on this Zoom, but man, I got to get out there and I got to make up my time in other ways. I got to, I want people to know when they think about EXP commercial and they're thinking about Tennessee or Nashville, I'm hoping they're thinking of me. I won't touch Max in Memphis. He's got that locked up. And then another one was, are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? Personally, I've been playing not to lose the past few years. I got to a comfort zone in life. We're making good money. We got a nice property, got my cars. My kids are grown. They're out of college. We're eating good. We're drinking good wine. I'm not really, living a bad life. But I realized after I got through with EXPCon, man, I'm not that old and I still got some more gas in the tank. I got to get out there and hit it hard and do something. And I had that talk with my wife as we drove down there, 17 hours and 17 hours back. Got a little cheaper hotel than the $500 a night hotel. We just made it work. And so I could go down the list of things that they talked about, but those were three quotes that just moved me spiritually, professionally, emotionally, and said, Paul, I got to get the systems a little more tweaked. I got to get the procedures tweaked. And I just got to hit it harder, work a couple more years here so that we could relax and enjoy our later years.
Wow. That's fantastic.
And can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
They were giving out awards and kudos to people on the main stage. I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday morning. They brought up a group and they said they were giving out like the top 3, the top 2, the top 1. The people who do the most in EXP and who sold the most, did the most gross sales, and who sold the most units. A group out of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, which is about 40 minutes from me on the east side of town. I'm on the south side. They're called the Short Term Group, the Short Term something group. I don't have them written down here. Never heard of these people before. They had 933 units sold last year and the most gross sales out of anybody in EXP, commercial or residential. Never heard of these people. So when I tell you, you got to get out there and not be invisible, these people are as invisible as you can get. And they are killing it. So I looked them up today, and the couple who run the team, she's this rock and roll looking girl with her motorcycle jacket on. Her husband's got tattoos up and down. He's got an Iron Maiden shirt on. And this is what's on. You go to their website and look under Meet Our Team. And so I wrote a little text to my cousin and my wife and everybody. I said, man, you cannot judge a book by its cover. These people are killing it. They're invisible and they look like they just got out of the Iron Maiden concert. But, here we are struggling, trying, doing what we got to do, getting together every week. So I may be contradicting myself, but I'm still going to stay with the old fashioned, don't be invisible, and the best known beats the best and all that kind of stuff.
Wow. That's really awesome.
Or I'm going to go out and get an Iron Maiden t-shirt and some tattoos this week. I don't know.
No, don't do that. No.
Okay.
There are other groups
Might
out
surprise
there.
you. So that's my takeaway from the convention, and I encourage
Nelson.
everybody to get to these.
Were those guys doing short-term rentals like Airbnbs?
The little bit I gathered on their website in the past hour, just to kind of check them out, it did say that both of them had over 100 doors that they own each, the husband and the wife, so that'd be 200 units. They got a big team and they're all over the country. If you go on their website, you'll see they're down in Florida, Kansas, everywhere.
Yep. All right.
They got a niche and they're killing it.
So there was a ton of takeaways, guys, and there were several announcements. For those of you who are kind of involved with the company itself outside of just you and your own little world where you are, then you'll appreciate the idea that Glenn Sanford has taken over International, EXP International, and he is taking that sucker forward, and he's going to make things happen. He's taking it back to the basics. That's one huge thing. Leo Pereja, who's the CEO of EXP Realty, is now also the CEO of EXP Commercial. Wendy Forsythe, who's the CMO, which is Chief Marketing Officer of all the companies. The direction we're taking with the commercial is, and it'll be evident over the next month or two, the logos themselves. The logos for EXP Realty is going to look different. It's changing. And they want everybody who's affiliated with EXP Realty to make those changes in all of their branding. That's an expectation. And the logo of EXP Commercial will not look like the logo of EXP Realty. So there'll be some definite differences, and everybody is on board with we are going to be a full-fledged global commercial company. There'll be pretty much a separation or segregation in people's mindsets. When they hear the word EXP, they'll start thinking, are you EXP? Are you residential? Or are you EXP commercial? Or are you EXP international? That's the idea. People are going to know that there are three companies out there. They're all in the EXP umbrella, EXP World Holdings, Inc. But this is going to become very evident in 2025, if not sooner, on some of this stuff. There's some other major things that occurred there at the EXPCon that affects everybody in a positive way. Chad, you're on here. Did you want to bring up a couple, or did you want to say anything about your takeaway from EXPCon that everybody would benefit from?
I mean, you're going to get Canva Pro to the extent that anybody here is using it to create their own marketing.
That's huge. Canva Pro included for everybody, no cost.
It's going to save money for me, so that's really good. Keith, you might be able to shed some light into this, because I thought I heard it from somebody at corporate there, but I guess not. I heard that build out was going to be on the way out, and we were going to consolidate on RealNext and go to a different agnostic directory for their website. But then somebody corrected me this morning and said, no, we haven't made a decision yet. Do you know anything about that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, in terms of kind of caught me off guard because I'm not here cooking.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the marketing boot camp. That was pretty good. I mean, he predictably sold to the back of the room kind of thing, but there were some good tidbits in there. I posted throughout some of the different commercial communities. If you look at my post, there's links to some of the resources that John Lee put out, marketing stuff, AI tools that he uses, stuff like that. So that's all of that stuff was probably the biggest takeaway and benefit for me from going to con, I would think.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And the networking, obviously.
Yes, yes. In the size of the commercial zone, everybody knows we exist now.
We weren't redheaded stepchildren, like, when I spent the $5,000 to go out to Vegas and like there was no sign of EXP Commercial anywhere. Like that part I definitely liked. I'm like, oh, we're seeing now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It'll be huge. Those of us who brought guests with us, explorers, I mean, at least the explorers that I talked to, including the one I brought, it was like the one takeaway I've heard from a lot of them was just, you guys are just one big happy family. And we're talking about, it's like there were 3,000 people there. I heard 3,000. I asked several people. There's about 3,000 showed up. And let me just do the numbers real quick. Let me change gears. In America, it's like what about 100 to 1, right? 100 residential to 1 commercial. Does everybody agree to that, or does everybody disagree to that? You've heard that, right? Somebody has said that to you before in your lifetime. If you look at eXp Realty, they're between 70 to 72,000 in America, and we're around 720 to 730 in America. That's a 100 to 1 ratio, isn't it? That's a beautiful thing. So right now, what we would like to do is exceed past that. But here's what happened. Out of the 3,000 attendees there to count vendors and stuff like that, 87 were us, eXp commercial people. 12% of our people in America showed up at EXPCon. That's huge. That means we were like 3 or 4% of the total population there in terms of agents. So we exceeded the 100 to 1 ratio. In other words, we were the strongest part of any EXP company that were there. I was fascinated with that, 87 of us being there. Does that ring anything good to anybody? That sound good? It doesn't matter. So of the 87 of us who were there, the rest of those people got to know us, which is a beautiful thing. My guest that I brought, she signed that she's joining us in an LOI scenario where she's got to be delayed because she's got some closings and a listing that she's got to handle. While she was there, 2 of our people gave her referrals because she's in Austin, Texas, gave her real referrals to work on. But she's not even our company yet. That's huge. I picked up a new mentee, Heath, and I got a couple other referrals. I'm not sure about Paul if he got anything, or Chad, but this stuff is real. I mean, if at all possible, start saving your money. You have till October 19th to be in Miami next year, Miami Beach. We're going back there, October 19th through 22. Show up a day or two before that, leave the day after. That way you can relax and stuff. Join us in Barcelona in June for EXP International. Join us in Montreal, Quebec in April for EXP Canada. Here's a big thing that occurred that Glenn made several statements from the stage, and I'm telling everybody that's on the recording too. A couple of major things popped up for those of us who are involved with revenue share. Okay. If you cap, here's your next incentive. If you cap during your 12 months and you have a revenue share organization, he's now opened it up to the first 5 levels for you to benefit, to get all the revenue share out of those 5 levels. If you're an icon, it's opened up to all 7 levels. If you happen to have an organization that big, that's beautiful. But here's the bigger thing. Because of all the country brokers and leaders of every country, they were there in the same meetings, in the same on stage together, first time ever. We had the opportunity to meet them all and start building relationships. One thing that Glenn rolled out was what they called co-sponsorship. This has to do with revenue share, right? I'm sure most of us here may have brought one person into the company already. We may have, okay? You're a sponsor. You brought one person in. You need to go to the map and see all the countries we're in right now. And you need to put on your thinking cap and say, who do I know in that country? I used to do business there, or I know people there, or whatever. I need to reach out to them, see if they're doing real estate. They're doing real estate. I need to tell them about EXP a little bit. And then you hook them up with that country broker, that country leader. And then that country leader will set up a meeting with that person. You get them going together. And if that person gets into EXP Realty, is what they're called over there, EXP International, whatever. Nelson, see you later, big guy. Anything you wanted to tell us before you left? Did he leave already? He's gone. Okay. If they join up with EXP there, then you are a sponsor of them. And if there's another agent there locally, they can be a sponsor of that person too, and also be responsible for making sure that person gets acclimated into the XP world. Okay, they're in that country with them. So both of you getting paid rev share. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, Keith, I had a question for that.
Yeah,
If you get on the revenue share and you're capping and they give you your 10 FLQA, they're not, that's just unlocking a level, right? You're not actually getting 10 advisors.
no, you're not getting them. Yeah, he just unlocks the levels.
So the 10 FLQA is just the levels,
It
5
doesn't
or
matter.
something.
He'll take you down to level 5.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what you got on your level 1
Okay.
for 13 months. It's a 13-month incentive.
Right. Initially, I was like, oh, 10.
I
So I
got a
get
question.
10 people on the first line. No, that's not how it works. Okay.
Go ahead, Chad. Who has a question?
So
Oh.
hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay. I admittedly don't know enough about the agent attraction stuff. I'm just not kind of starting to think about how I want to do it. But you said something that caught my eye. I didn't realize that, I guess, capping unlocks levels, because I know that there's some people in this organization that don't even do production. They just do that. So just for my own curiosity, those people that aren't actually doing production are literally, I guess, limited or handicapped. Is that right? In terms of how much
No,
downline they
they're
can
not
bring in?
limited or handicapped. No. They all of us have always had to have a certain number of FLQAs to get to the next level, right? Well,
Yeah.
they have been doing that themselves. Okay. And then there are a few in our company. They may have a level 3, a level 4, or a level 5 that if they didn't have enough FLQAs, or they did have them and then the FLQAs left, then they'd start losing the ability to get all the money at that level. Well, what Glenn was so brilliant about was he said, you know what, let's just open it up to all 5 levels if you cap. So what he's saying is, yes, you got to be a producer as well when it comes to transactions to get all 5 of your levels open without worrying about what you have on your first line. What that does to the rest of the industry is it puts everybody else to the side. Every other imitator that we have out there that's trying to use our business models and start their world sets them aside, because none of them can afford to even do that. If you think about it, they can't do it. So it makes our world look a little bit shinier in terms of we got to give up. Plus, the other real big reason is he's got to give us back the money. That's part of the deal. We were built to give the rev share back. That's why it's called rev share. We're built to share revenue. And he's trying to find best ways to get it into our hands, because not everybody takes advantage of all these programs that exist. I mean, that's a huge thing. Heath, you got a question?
Yeah. Something that I heard you mention, I love traveling and I love going to conferences. So you had mentioned the EXP International Conference. You said that's in Barcelona in June.
Yes.
And then you said there was one in Canada as well in April?
Montreal, yeah.
Montreal. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
I've already signed up for all 3. They get a 20% discount on registration in a bundle if you want to do that right now. As a matter of fact, you probably got an email because no, you're not part of EXP yet. So I'll send you the email, okay, Heath?
Okay, that sounds good.
Because you did not get that because you're not in EXP right now yet.
Very soon, very soon.
Yeah, but list all the registrations for all 3. You can even do a step up and do the VIP level. But all 3 if you attend all 3 at the VIP level, is $2,695 total for all 3 VIP.
Okay,
I'm
very
telling
cool.
you that now because I paid for it.
And then also too, like, because I am new, you just threw out an acronym. I have no clue what it is. FLQA.
Yes. So in the revenue share world of EXP, the first line you do is FLA. That's your first line of advisors or agents that you brought into the company.
Okay.
The Q means they're qualifying, which means they're actually out there doing transactions, which then allows you to be qualified to get the maximum rev shares on your level 2 and your level 3. The
Copy.
level 2 and the 3 comes from those people bringing people in. Okay.
Yes, I got that. Okay. So it's
But
just
there's
that,
another program. You and I could go out there and sponsor anybody we want, or bring somebody in, and we can stick them under anybody we want now and claim the FLQA part of it. but the person down below where we stuck them is the sponsor. Now you'll win because you're in the upline. You also win because you get the FLQA designation, right? But that person below you that you want to reward, where they can start having people they sponsored and they'll continue to make money off of them too. You can do that. Did you know that? That started.
I know that.
That's going on.
They should change because it says frontline agents 10. I mean, that's not the same, right? That's just a qualifying
Yeah, the
number for tier
FLQA
5.
10. Yeah, it needs to be FLQA 10.
Both of them say it weird, but I get what you're saying. I mean, it would be nice. The other way would be.
If
But
you're
it
not
does
a producer,
entice you to
yeah.
bring people in. I do see that.
If you're not a producer, you got to keep following the old ways, right? If you're not a capper, if you're not an icon from production, you still got to have your 30 FLQAs, because if you're an icon, you could go all the way down to level 7. Well, you got to have that many people in the organization to start with to even benefit. You know, most of us, we're not there yet, right? I only have people on levels 1 and 2. I don't even have a 3 yet. So,
Heath, do you recruit to like the residential or just a commercial?
so I'm focused on growing the commercial company. I don't have anybody in my organization that is veteran enough in the residential world where I would feel like I should go bring residential agents in. I can't help them with our systems that they have in residential. I don't know them. I'd be an awful sponsor to them. They'd be at the mercy of, I got to find somebody to help them. You see what I'm saying? But if I could go find that brokerage, like you all are thinking, that is residential, and I don't want to spend all our time on this attraction stuff today, but and I bring that person, they're good friends of mine, and say, by the way, you're going to be responsible for all these residential people that are coming in, because you're gonna have to learn this, and you're gonna have to become like my internal mentor or whatever. I don't know. You just, yeah, that's the only way I can address it. Now, others have done that, but I'm not there right now. I really like the idea of bringing CCIMs in. Plus, most of them want to be mentors. So I'm really top heavy on mentors now. I love it. So, any other questions on the do announcements from the stage? Oh yeah, here's a couple more. Peru will be on in 30 days. I talked to the Greek guy. He said he'd be on in, not the Greek guy. It was Peru, Egypt, and Turkey. I talked to the Egyptian guy. He said he'd be on in 60 days. Their country would be live 60 days. But the Turkey guy wasn't there. So those are 3 new countries coming on now to start 2025. And then Glenn announced 4 others he's talked to in the last 2 days. He said that back there, last 2 days. Japan, Malaysia, China, and Argentina. If you guys got friends in all those countries, use them. Try to get out there and get to the real estate people there. Start bringing them in. We have country leaders to help you. And they all want us to. They want commercial. They need us to help them with commercial. And one last thing, I already told all the country leaders that I could visit with, I'm going to throw my name in a hat in case you've got anybody there that has friends in the U.S. that needs to come in DXP. I'll be happy to be that co-sponsor for the Southeast U.S. I didn't want to take the whole country because that's too far. I'll let you guys worry about your part of the country. I'm just going to handle the Southeast U.S. Okay, Oscar, you okay with that?
I agree with you. You deserve it.
I was there. I got to be there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Great job.
Hey, anybody else got anything significant in anything commercial wise you want to talk about before I call on somebody?
Hey, I got something real quick.
Yeah,
I know I'm the new guy, but something that
hi,
I
new
learned.
guy.
Hey, something that I learned at EXPCon was that in a few weeks here down in Atlanta, EXP Commercial is having their 4-year anniversary bash / mastermind. So if you haven't signed up for it, do it. Keith probably has the details.
Oh, is that because myself and Eric are hosting this thing?
Yes, sir.
Is that it? That's an Atlanta mustache?
What? No, that's not Atlanta one. That's Missouri mustache.
That's Missouri.
But
Okay.
yes, it is in Atlanta.
So I might as well let Rich tell everybody about when this sucker is, because he's one of our guest speakers.
I believe it's the 13th, 14th, and 15th. Am I correct there, Mr. Andrews?
It's actually the 13th and 14th. Those of us coming in early on the 12th will get together, and then you believe it or not, Rich, I think there's at least 8 of us. There's 8 hotel rooms booked on the 12th. So there's at least 8 of us coming early. Huh?
I'm one of them. I'll be there.
There you go. So Rich is one of our speakers. Max, I don't know when you're getting here, but if you want to show up early, go for it. We'll be here.
I think coming in on the 12th.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
So the 13th is the birthday. It's in the evening, the celebration, and the 14th is the mastermind all day. And a lot of us are staying and going home on the 15th. So I'm there from the 12th to the 15th. I'm one of the hosts, you know, so it's not hard for me to drive back and forth between here and Atlanta. So, but yeah, that'll be good. I think Eric's going to be there. He's on here as well. He's coming down. Scott Stein, he's coming down. He called me already on that. So that's pretty cool. Blair is coming down. Aren't you, Blair? Rich, we're going to see the 3D Blair.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm excited. Yeah, 4 years, guys. 4 years. See 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Keith, I heard you talking about attraction, all that, and I just found out a guy that I was recruiting for commercial was taken by one of our former area district, whatever, broker out of Knoxville. And he's going to be a residential under the quote unquote residential, but he's going to be doing commercial transactions. And that's a big problem, you know, we have not resolved yet. We still haven't, people are being told, yeah, you can come into residential and you can do commercial deals too.
That's that is being talked about behind the scenes. It's like
he's already registered.
Movement. It's a grassroots.
He's already registered, you know, as a realty agent.
More and more of the state brokers are understanding the significance, the difference between two different professions. So it's starting to happen, Max. I talked about that while we were there at EXPCon. It's coming from the top down. Okay. That type of what I'm saying now, the differentiation is coming from the top down. So you'll see more.
I understand that, Keith. You know, we're talking about this, and this is what we're saying, and that's what is going to happen. And we're talking about it, but there's nothing done. You know what I'm saying?
The brokers are starting to work in that direction because they're understanding.
Keith, I just hope they figure it out before a massive lawsuit does it for them.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either.
And the bad problem with it, Rich, is this doggone thing is, you know, area brokers. You know, this person was an area broker that is doing that.
Yeah, it's nuts. And you know, I'm going to talk a little bit about that, Keith, in Atlanta. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it's just one of those things where if ever there was the expression "stay in your lane," it should be residential folks stay in your lane. I mean, you just.
Oh, it's a fact. Yes. And to make
Can I add something here?
Yes, Chad.
Yeah, so a couple things. First, assuming we get the CoStar deal finished, everybody's text fees go up, I'm guessing at least double.
No,
so
that's
gonna,
That's incorrect. I can tell you that right now.
Okay, well, we pay $250 a month. You're saying we're gonna get it cheaper than $250? I'm not complaining about it.
No, I'm just telling you that the intention is a lot different than what you're thinking. Yes.
Okay, well, I'm assuming they're going to go up. That may have some people in commercial drop out and also could push them towards residential. My point for saying this is if corporate is smart, this is the time to do that, to make the fact that now CoStar is bundled in, like, you know, the thing, and also simultaneously say, look, and you have to actually be in commercial to do commercial transactions. Like, I don't know, like it can create kind of a wedge, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Did I miss something? Did you say CoStar is bundled in now? I'm sorry.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
Supposedly we are at the 1 yard line.
wow.
We're at the
Whoa.
1 yard line, according to the C-suite.
1 yard
Yeah,
line.
that doggone yard line is getting longer and longer. We've been talking about it for almost a year now.
Well, and that was the other thing I was going to bring up. Like when we have AAC meetings and stuff, I don't think that's like breaking confidentiality to say this. A lot of times when we talk about why things are taking so long, much of their resources this year have had to deal with a couple of things. Number one, the corporate shifts up top in terms of personnel, but also more importantly, the NAR lawsuit. They've been focusing a lot on just making sure that, you know, everything comes out good with that they just haven't had the energy or focus to put into us. That's getting wrapped up, or is largely wrapped up now, is my understanding. And so, you know, hopefully we come back out of redheaded stepchild status again, I hope.
And they're talking about a reduced rate, or this is like, it's going to be part of the tech fee.
It would be a reduced rate bundled into the tech fee, as far as I know. It sounds like Keith may know something more than I do. But I've heard numbers anywhere from an extra $250 to $350 a month. I can tell you, I pay full retail at $500, so I'll take any discount I can get.
I'm paying $550 or $600. So, all right, Keith, spill the beans.
Well, there's certain things that they're trying to accomplish. Some of us here understand how CoStar operates because we've experienced them in the past companies we were at. And that alone is a factor behind what the many different solutions could be. Think of it this way: if they think of any tech platform that decides to do something with us that is tremendously fantastic, what happens to the rest of the industry and their clients? How pissed off do they get? And so you got to put yourself in their boat as well on what we're trying to accomplish. Not everybody's going to use CoStar. Not all of us use CoStar. Not all of us need to use CoStar. We know that. And others do. They absolutely need it. And it's all about, it can be all about the product group they're in. It can be all about the location on this planet they're at. Makes all the difference in the world, right? We all know there's so many different factors that affects why we use different platforms depending on who we are. So the idea is there's a lot of people in the other big boy companies that we came from that absolutely say, oh my gosh, you guys have a fantastic business model for so many different reasons. All the things we're doing, the rev share, the stock, being publicly traded, the agent-centric mentality, the culture we have, the collaboration, the one company, one broker, no franchises. There's so many different things that they're loving about us, but they can't get to us because they got to have CoStar, or they got to have, I don't know, Crixie, or they got to have RealNex, or they got to have whatever you can think of. They have to have that, and we don't have that for them. I know we have RealNet, but if we don't have certain things, they can't make that jump yet. Okay, so that's another motivator behind why we're looking at all the platforms and why we're trying to figure out the best way to put it together. So it could be a menu, right, Chad? It could be a menu. I want this, this, and this. Okay, it's yours. I want this, this, and this. Okay, it's yours. It could be that, guys. Remember that.
I do
And
like
it
that
might only be
CoStar kind of
250.
eliminates the fakers, though, that shouldn't be in the business anyway. So
Yeah.
The other thing I'm going to add here that he's talked about, I don't know, I feel like Sean's been on this call and said, but maybe not. I get
He
confused where
has.
he's
He's been on it and talked. Yes.
But he said one of the biggest holdups we have right now is it's either the CEO or some high level guy at CoStar is like mortified of what's going to happen when word gets out, when we get whatever sweetheart price deal.
That's what
and
I said.
Marcus
Yeah.
Tap and Cushwake and all those people come back at him and they're going to be like, what? You sold it to him for what? So, you know, there's some head trash going on at CoStar, I guess, about how they are going to, you know, deal with the fallout of it, so to speak. So there's that for whatever that's worth.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I love about Glenn Sanford is, you know, he says he's a tech nerd first. He loves to create chaos and then use systems to put it back together. And an announcement he made from the stage was, hey, everybody in luxury, guess what we bought? We bought Luxury XT or VT. I forget what it is, Lux XT or Lux VT, whatever it is. That's a major coup in the world of luxury residential across the globe. We bought them. There you go. Just to give you an idea. And we're creating technical platforms we're creating chaos to create solutions for the rest of the globe. The rest of the globe uses portals. Portals control the real estate industry in many countries, and they charge millions to use their portals. That's where people get to list their properties for the rest of the world to know. All these different portals. We're addressing that right now. There's so much that Glenn talked about over those days and others talked about at EXPCon. It's hard to remember it all or put in correct verbiage. I'm not the expert. I'm not the best detail note taker. I'm just giving you ideas. Don't take my word for it. Research what I'm saying, but it doesn't mean it has to be in residential only. Things are happening, I'm sure, in commercial. So, that's where we are.
Okay, Stephen
Yes.
said that. Would it be below 350 and would it be before the end of the year?
The hilarious thing is, I think it was so funny when one person said it to me. He said, "Man, wouldn't it be great if it was just part of our 250 package, Keith?" And I said, "That would be like unheard of." And it goes right back to what Chad just said. If it was in our 250 package, who's paying the difference? What is the difference? How much is EXP Commercial going to pay for it to be inside our 250 package? Okay, that'd be a lot, wouldn't it? Or do we make that a menu item? Say, hey guys, you pay 250 for this, or pay 149 for this. We'll make up the difference. If you need to use CoStar, or like Rich, he can get Yardy. Sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Sorry, Rich. But instead of paying 25,000, what'd you say? Yardy Matrix. Yeah. Instead of paying 25,000 a year to Yardy Matrix, because he's EXP Commercial, he's paying him 3,000 a year. Right, Richie?
Yeah, for the next 8 years, I'm playing with the house money. But Keith, the program ended, so that program ended, and I'm get it back, and I'm curious. It hasn't. The multifamily guys at EXP haven't quite yet taken to it yet, and I think along the lines of both CoStar and a Yardy Matrix, it's if people aren't using it, it's probably because they don't know how.
Right.
So
Exactly.
one of the things that EXP is going to have to concentrate on is just like, okay, how do we use CoStar? How do we use Yardy Matrix? And
Exactly.
learn how to do that. Then you understand the competitive advantage that it gives you. And I mean, whenever I hear anybody say, oh, I don't need CoStar, or they're just telling me that they don't know what the power of the program is and how it can be a competitive advantage. And they don't know that they're at a competitive disadvantage for not having it. So
Yep.
I really hope that, I'm curious, Keith, when I get out next week or 2 weeks to Atlanta, I'm curious to what Sean and the likes all think about.
Yeah, Sean will be there. You'll see him.
Yeah, no, I'm
Lots of
curious
talk
about
going
what
on.
they think. Because here's the thing, Keith, if Yardy Matrix, I understand that we didn't have a lot of usage. Even CoStar, I'm hearing you say that there might not be a huge number. Even Reonomy, when we had it, there was not a huge number of guys using it. But that's not the point. The point is if you want to grow this from 750 to, say, I don't know, 7,500, you got to have those pieces.
You have to have those. Exactly. That's what this is about.
And then the numbers will take care of themselves. Whatever kind of pricing matrix that they have to come up with is fine. I mean, I like the idea of a menu. I think that's a great idea. And hopefully it can be profitable because, EXP, even EXP Commercial, even though we account for maybe 1 or 2% of holdings is revenue, we're profitable. There's just not a lot of overhead. So they've got to think about how, if you really are truthfully committed to growing this to several thousand brokers, you got to have the tools. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. So it may not be a menu, guys. None of us know. Only the guys in negotiations knows what's going on. That's like maybe 2 people up at the top. Okay. So that might be it. But those are different ways of approaching it. It's always possible. How do you do a menu? Anyway, anybody got anything else? I'll turn off the recording and we can talk outside the recording if you want to. Let me tell you, so next Monday, so I should have said it's the beginning, darn it, I didn't think about that. Next Monday's Veterans Day. It's a holiday, guys. I will not be doing this. I will not be doing this on Monday. I'll actually be celebrating, being a veteran, and I'll be doing some veteran stuff that day. So it'll be pretty cool. But tomorrow, please go vote. Go vote. If you have no clue who to vote for, it's not just about the presidency. You got all your state offices in there. You got local stuff to vote on. Get over there and have a voice in it. Okay. Go to the vote if you haven't early voted. Alabama does not have early voting. So we all have to wait till tomorrow anyway. Now, if I was out of country, or if I had if there was an exception, yes, I could do an early vote, but we don't do the regular early vote ballots to anybody in Alabama. So just letting you know that. Anything else? I'll turn off the recording. Okay, I'll turn off the recording.